they were dealing with a problem. Time was of the essence. They didn't want to be inconvenienced, and they wanted a solution now versus hope for a solution in the future. That maybe was a couple more bucks or whatever, but there's uncertainty with that and certainty with this. Hey guys, it's time again for Marketing Monday, here with Deb Horn and
Mike Van Norton.
The Master, Mike Van Norton. See, now I got to give you an adjective.
Give me an adjective.
All right, The Master.
I'll be an adjective, that's cool.
Marketing Mike. All right, so today, last week, you may recall that we talked about the psychology of the successful real estate investor, and we talked about 5 traits that we see in all the successful guys and gals that we deal with. And so if you didn't see that, go check out last week's episode.
It'll probably be under this video, right?
It'll be over there,
or
there, or it could be somewhere out there.
But it's around. It's around.
That's the problem. You never know what people are looking at you on a phone or a tablet or a computer.
That's right.
They might be in another country. Probably not.
Another planet?
All right. So what we're going to talk about today is the psychology of the happy home seller. And what we mean by that is, just like we've seen successful real estate investors and we've been able to understand what makes them tick, we've seen happy home sellers. Over the years in this business, and just in the last week, I've seen a number of home sellers, testimonials.
We've got pages of testimonials
and videos
it's
from all over the country.
Scroll down.
And so we started thinking, wow, some of these guys are really happy with, we buy houses and our guys and the solution that was given to them. And so what was it what were the characteristics about them, that made them really happy? The first one was they were dealing with, I'm looking at the hidden list. Okay. They don't even know it's there. Well, they do now. But anyway, they were dealing with a problem. And so this doesn't mean that, they're any particular sort of pain or whatever, but the deal is, when we look at most of these guys, they were dealing with some sort of problem. This problem, it could be that one of the spouses, they took a job in a new city, they moved to the new city, and now they still have the old house and the new house. They have 2 house payments. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Right? And so if the old house isn't selling, let's say it needs a new roof, it won't pass inspection, it's hard to sell that house. Now I got a problem because I'm paying for 2 houses, one needs repair, and we moved to another city. They could own a vacant house, and a vacant house, maybe they inherited it or whatever. For whatever reason, they own a vacant house. It used to be a rent house.
Holding costs. They may have to be paying taxes and upkeep and yard maintenance.
We also see, you do see folks who have more extreme problems. Like I remember helping a couple one time that he had lost his job and she had hurt her back and had to have back surgery. So they had a double whammy of a medical issue on her and a job loss for him, and they were headed to foreclosure. This wasn't like saved them from foreclosure thing. They hadn't gotten a notice of default yet, but we assumed their mortgage brought it current, got them into their new house. We flipped that.
They're happy, and you're happy.
What we typically saw was that there was some sort of issue that they were dealing with that a more creative real estate transaction was able to solve. A lot of times, I'll tell you guys, not so much psychology, but the fact that you're dealing with someone who needs money, and they have assets that they could sell, and one of them is a house, and that house usually needs work. Otherwise, in a hot real estate market, they could put the house on the market and sell it, through the traditional means. A lot of times the people we're dealing with, the houses don't sell or wouldn't sell on the retail market.
They're in disrepair, and they need, it may need $30,000 in repairs, and they just don't have the or they don't want to spend the $30,000 on repairs.
Yeah,
because they need to get a new home. They've got expenses in other areas. So.
The other thing that we've seen is that they don't a lot of these folks, and this I do think gets into some degree of a psychological, behavioral thing. They don't want to be inconvenienced. We heard a lot of people say, happy homeowners, say, I was so happy with your solution because I didn't have people coming in my house. One of them told a story of 2 offers falling through where the people didn't qualify for the mortgage, or because of problems with the house, it didn't pass inspection. And so not only were they showing their house, but the transactions weren't happening for various reasons, and so an enormous amount of inconvenience.
And not only that, I heard one of my licensees I was talking to, it was a hoarder house, and there was so much junk in the house that you could barely walk into the rooms because the junk was
it's hard to show.
And they didn't want any. And so
I've seen it.
So they said, look, we'll take care of everything that's in the house.
Over the years of looking at houses, one of the things that I often think is, I wonder at what point you call it a hoarder house. I mean, I'm serious.
I know.
Where's the line drawn?
Yeah.
This isn't just a messy place to, hoarder house.
I know.
I think it might be the pathways that you're talking about.
I think so. When you're having to turn sideways to get down the hall.
I was in one, and every step had something stored on it on the stairs, and it appeared to be a method for storing paperwork. Like I think each step might have been.
But if you've inherited that, if you've inherited that home, do you really want to mess with that home?
Yeah.
I mean, no, you really don't.
Thank you for pulling me out of that, because the one I'm talking about was an inherited house.
Yeah,
and it was left with all this stuff in it.
Nobody wants to deal with that. Stuff. I wouldn't want to deal with that.
Let's talk about the last trait. You know what it is?
No, I'm not going to look. What is it?
They want certainty now.
Yes.
Versus hope for some future outcome.
Months down the road.
Yeah, a lot of people that we talk, and you could say, well, time was of the essence, and I think that is tied together with this. For these folks, time is of the essence, and as a result, they want some degree of certainty that if they pursue this and the transaction makes sense for them, that it can happen quickly and efficiently and actually happen.
They do, and and this goes back to something we referenced, a couple of videos ago about, make sure that you have the ability to purchase a home, even if you're going to assign it, because the last thing you want to do is put that seller in a really bad position. I mean, sure, you can go back and renegotiate for 30 more days, and yes, I'm a believer in lock it up, but you need to have a pretty good idea that buyer, if you're not,
I would say this, and it's certainly
has funds available to.
The We Buy Houses way is we never make an offer on a house if we can't buy it. So, meaning if the thought would be, I might do a wholesale transaction where I involve another real estate investor.
Right.
And I get the house under contract and then, in essence, assign the contract to another investor. That we talked about in a couple of our videos, the wholesaling idea. It's, the idea, if you sign a contract with somebody, your integrity's on the line, your character's on the line, and our thought is that it's okay to be wholesaling, but we are always sure that if our deal with that ultimate buyer falls through, that we can buy the house.
Back up.
And so I think that's critically important, because that one thing you see with happy homeowners is the certainty of it happening now versus hope for it happening in the future. And a professional real estate investor delivers that certainty that this is going to happen.
Yep.
And if it's not certain, if that's something that you can't offer them, I'm just telling you that this is a key trait of the happy home seller, is they don't want this uncertainty. They don't want to wait or find out 90 days or 60 days or 30 days from now that something they thought was going to happen isn't going to happen. With We Buy Houses, most of our deals are done in about a 14 to 21 day period, in and out, cash in hand. And like I said, I don't know anyone in our program that ever makes an offer on a house that they can't deliver on that. So, now we're kind of bleeding over into kind of how. I guess what we're trying to say is, if we
integrity matters.
If we step back from this, so let's kind of get back to the topic of this happy homeowner. they were dealing with a problem. Time was of the essence. They didn't want to be inconvenienced, and they wanted a solution now versus hope for a solution in the future. That maybe was a couple more bucks or whatever, but there's uncertainty with that, uncertainty with this. And so I think at the end of the day, if you're talking to a homeowner and they don't have those characteristics, it's what we do is probably not a good fit for them. I don't know how many times I went and met with somebody, and in the course of talking to them, I realized this house will sell retail no problem. It'll pass a retail inspection. They're not telling me that time's of the essence. I haven't heard them dealing with any particular problem. And I would simply say to them, you're going to make more money if you do it this other way.
List the home,
going with me is not the right solution for you. I can't offer a retail price because I'm a guy that has to buy a house, fix it up, and sell it at a profit. Therefore, I have to buy at the wholesale value, not the retail value. I can't pay you retail. And this house is retail ready, and you're not in a hurry. You should put it on the market. Even if it took 3 months, you're going to get the best price.
And they appreciate the honesty.
They appreciate that. And the worst scenario is you meet someone who's in that situation. You try to force them into your box, because now you're really just discounting their house and offering them perhaps a quicker sale.
Yeah, you don't
and they weren't in a hurry, right?
No,
so I think as with any business, kind of what we've come to realize is that the people that are happy with real estate investors and happy with the solution and happy with it, at the end of the day, when all the dust settles, they're pleased with what happened. Those people had those characteristics, and if they don't have the characteristics, they're probably not a good fit. And it's in our best interest, people of integrity and character, to always tell people what's in their best interest, right? Because at the end of the day, I have been referred, people will refer their friends to me. When I told that person, I can't give you enough, no other investor can give you enough. You need to go retail, you'll get max dollars. They did it, they got the max dollars, and what do they think about me? That guy's awesome, I'll tell other people.
You get referrals out of it.
I always look at if the consumer's not a good fit for me, I always look at it as he's a great reference.
He's a great reference.
If I do him right, or her.
And you never know. They may have a friend that is in the situation where it's the perfect fit for what you're doing, but you're not going to get that referral if they feel like
if there's any kind of conclusion to all this, and we'll wrap it up, is that with any business, the happy customers are the people for whom the solution was a great fit to the problem. And as soon as you determine that somebody has a different problem than your solution, don't try to force it. It's not going to work, because it's not going to match their needs, their psychology, their behaviors. It's not going to be a good solution for them. They won't be happy.
It's not going to end up well.
We want every homeowner that ever deals with us and that ever deals with you to be ecstatic about the way it works.
Especially in the age of the internet, where social media, where one or two posts, scathing reviews about you or your company.
You got to do everybody right. Everybody right.
All right, I think we covered that.
All right, good deal. Right. Hey guys, it's good to spend some time with you, and we hope you enjoyed our two-part series on the psychology of successful investors and happy home sellers.
Happy home sellers. All right, guys. See you next time.
We'll see you. Take care. Hey, wait. Boom.
Any